Hi, my name's Luka Karanovic, and this is How to Barspin on a BMX bike.
Boy.
Smoking thrax, hot as fuck, yeah, I know you see it. Couple 30 around the Euro, bitch, I know you see it. Skirting out, foreign whip, I know you see it. Drinking by the hyper part, I'm wildin' out, I know you see it.
Okay, so in this video I'm going to cover bike setup, I'm going to cover prerequisites of doing a bar spin, everything you need to know before you actually start. We're going to cover how to actually do the trick, and we're going to cover my own personal way I learned how to do the bar spin, and then finally at the very end I'll try to cover the common problems that people have with the bar spin and all the rest of it. Enjoy! Okay, so prerequisites. The first thing you're going to need to know is how to bunny hop. Obviously you can't hop bar spin if you don't know how to bunny hop, so that's the first thing you're going to need to learn how to do. And you're going to want to be able to bunny hop very confidently before you be trying any tricks out into a bunny hop. Next of all, you're going to need to know which way you're going to throw your bars. It's on every how to bar spin video, but in case this is the only one you watched, I will cover it very quickly. So if you are right foot forward, you will throw the bars. Obviously, you always throw the bars towards your leading foot, which for me is my right foot, so I'll throw the bars clockwise. But if you're left foot forward, you will throw the bars anti-clockwise. And finally, you guys are going to want to know how you're going to throw the bars. There are two main methods. There's the bus driver method, and then there's the regular bar spin method. I personally prefer the bar spin method, which is the method that you hold onto the bars a little bit past the 90-degree mark, a little bit past the 180-degree mark, and then you just quickly transition. You flick from hand to hand. See that? Like I let go of this hand only momentarily for it to be caught by my catching hand, and then this hand sweeps around and catches the bars. So this is the method that you hold on to the bars for a little bit longer. For me it worked a bit better, especially when I started taking this trick to quarter pipes and doing it into other banks and stuff like that. I wanted consistency in the bar spin, and I found that the bus driver way it didn't look as cool and it wasn't quite as fast, but it definitely offered the most consistency in this trick. So whichever way you decide to throw the bars, you're going to want to be very confident at throwing them before you start doing bar spins. You want to be able to throw the bars, catch them before the bike lands back on the ground. So you want to be able to pick the bike up, throw the bars without the tire bouncing on the ground. So throwing them very confidently, the way you'll always throw them, without the tire bumping the ground. So if your bar spins do a bump like that, you're not quite ready. You need to be throwing them a little bit more consistently than that. You need to be throwing them faster, harder. You really need to mean the bar spin. Give 110%, because the speed of the bar spin throw is very crucial. Okay, so next up is how to actually do the trick. First of all, you guys want to find some nice level flat ground. I want you guys to roll, not so fast, maybe just a little bit faster than the walking speed. The order in the trick is you'll ride, you'll compress, you'll hop, but you don't want to do a hop that's sort of like overly exaggerated and heavy on the front end pull. You actually want to do almost like an old school bunny hop. So you want to do like just a little hop, and you want to get level quite quick. Hop as high as you can, but be level when you're doing the trick. Now, when you do the hop is actually, it's two things. It's a hop, but it's also, as you hop, almost instantaneously, you're going to move to this like kind of L position. So you hop, and then you're like going to be in the L position. So the hop is also getting into position and a hop for this trick. And another thing added to the hop is, so you hop, you'll move your feet back and get yourself into the L position, where you'll kind of lean over the top of your bars. Your feet will be straight back to give the clearance to the actual bar spin. Most people that can't do bars aren't actually having trouble with the bar spin itself. They're probably having more trouble with the actual first step, which is the hop. So they're so focused on the actual bar spin that their hop is kind of not quite up to spec. So a lot of things need to happen with the hop. You need to hop, as I said, hop, compress, hop as high as you can, but during you're doing the hop, before you even think about doing the bar spin, you are going to straighten those legs, lean over. So it's like a hop, straighten and lean over, and get yourself ready to do the bar. All that's going to happen pretty much as you're hopping. So it might help to try to do hops something like these, just to get sort of warmed up. Ride, practice hopping and getting that clearance away from the bars. Not actually attempting to do the bar spin, just hop and get that clearance. Okay, doing that will help. Before you actually throw the bars, you need to have that quite down pat. And then obviously after that it's just a matter of adding the bar on. So you'll do that hop, get into that L position, move the knees back, throw the bar spin, because you've been practicing your bars now and you throw them proficiently and you're 100% confident that you'll catch it. You'll jump, you'll get into that L position, you'll quickly throw the bars, catch them, and because your feet are in that are in the L position and they're straight and locked, as you catch the bars, you should pretty much be on the ground. You won't have a whole lot of time to spare. It'll basically be hop, throw, catch, land, all at the same time, and it will happen very quickly. Okay, so if you're doing all of those things that I've said, and you've watched many YouTube videos, and no matter what, your bar spin still looks something like this, then perhaps you're something like me and you have a lot of trouble with this trick. I personally found it very, very difficult to learn. No matter how many video YouTube try, everyone gives the same amount of tips, and I just kept thinking that everyone's got more guts than me. I just can't throw the trick. Every time I try the trick, it looks terrible. I'm all in the air. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't remember and do so many steps at once. Okay, it's quite simple. You guys are going to break the trick down into pieces. This is the way I learnt the bar spin. I think it's a really good way. I recently taught my friend who was, admittedly, he said he was very rubbish at bar spins, and I told him the way that I did it, and he broke it down and basically got the whole trick in sort of like a week or something like that. So he did really well, and I was quite glad to see that method worked, and is kind of the main reason why I wanted to make this video. So break the trick down into steps. The first step is the pull-up half bar. I know it sounds really bad, but I actually was so scared of this trick that I gave up completely, and I said I'll just try and not even do a hop, not even do a full bar, but just do a pull-up and half a bar. So that's your first step. It should look like this.
Lows on the track, boy.
Smoking thrax, high as fuck, yeah, I know you see it. Couple of 30 around the Euro, bitch, I know you see it. Skirting out, foreign whip, I know you see it. Drink about a half a pint, I'm wildin' out, I know you see it. See me jugging, what you jugging?
So it doesn't look really great, but for me, landing the pull-up half bar was like the first step, and I actually felt like I might be able to get this trick with practice, and it's that kind of confidence and inspiration that will actually lead you to actually getting this trick. There's a lot to be learnt from being able to do a pull-up half bar. For example, I mean, the main fundamental thing you're going to learn is letting go of the bars and catching them. But it's kind of nice with the half bar because you don't have to do like a massive rotation. It's just kind of like passing it from hand to hand. So you take your hand from the riding position, you throw with the same hand that you would for a full bar spin. You just throw it and let it go at around 90 degrees, and it will just spin over and be caught with this hand. So the motion is kind of like just like a pass. And it's really good because it just gives you the fundamentals of sort of letting go of the bars and catching them. Even though they haven't gone the full way around, it doesn't matter. You've still let go of them, you've still caught them, and you're holding your bars, you haven't stepped off the bike. It's a really nice feeling. For me, it was anyway. I found that to be like the first milestone in learning how to bar spin. Okay guys, so the second step for me was to do the hop half bar spin. So it's like a little hop and half bar spin. Because you've been practicing half bars and you've got them down pat, the next stage is to just literally add one more step. You're going to do everything like you do normally, pull up, get in that lock position, and throw and do a manual half bar, but you're going to add one more step, which is the hop. So exactly the same. Pull back, you're just going to do a little hop and throw the half bar. When you get good at doing pull-up half bars, you're going to see that you don't actually need much time to do. You can do the littlest manual and you'll still be able to do a half bar. So basically all you're going to add to this trick is a hop. Pull back, little hop, throw the half bar, land. You'll get this one quickly, I hope. It should look something like this.
Lows on the track, boy.
Smoking thrax, high as fuck, yeah, I know you see it. Couple of 30 around the Euro, bitch, I know you see it. Skirting out, foreign whip, I know you see it.
A lot of things can be learnt from this too. Obviously, not only are you practicing letting go of the bars and catching them, but you've also added the hopped element into it, and it's actually going to feel unreal. I remember the feeling when I landed my first hop bar spin. I knew for sure I would get the full bar. It was like the second but the biggest kind of milestone to learning the bar, because it felt like a full bar. You hop, you do the half bar, you land, and it was just unreal. Okay guys, so step 3 is the pull up full bar. So you're going to do just like you did a pull up half bar, you're going to do a pull up full bar spin. this one's quite controversial. A lot of people seem to think this is useless and sort of not worth doing. Just go straight to the hop bar spin. But I do disagree, because you don't, if you're throwing your bar spins really quickly and proficiently, you'll see you don't actually need to hop very high at all. In fact, you can do it quite easily from a manual. You pull back, throw the bars and catch them. Bearing in mind, you're always doing that L position that we talked about sooner. So as you pull back the manual, you still straighten your legs, lean over, throw the bars and catch. You'll do all those things, but you're not going to do the first hop. It just removes that little element of intensity, and for me it made it a lot easier. And then finally after that, it's just a matter of adding the little hop into it. So basically you do those first 2 steps, and then you with the half bar, and then you just do the same 2 steps with the full bar. This method helped me break it down in every possible way, and it was, to be honest, there was no way I was learning it any other way. I just had so much trouble committing to the full bar spin. This was definitely the best method for me.
The most on the track, boy.
Smoking thrax, hot as fuck, yeah, I know you see it. Couple of 30 around the Euro, bitch.
Okay, so the last segment is just going to be how to resolve any problems. So if you're bar spinning pretty well, but you have like minor little issues, we're going to address them in this last section. So problem number 1 is the most common one, I think, and it's that people can throw the bars, they catch them, but they land and their front foot comes off, or they put their front foot down. And I've heard a couple of funny solutions to how to solve this problem, like taping your foot onto the pedal and all sorts of stuff like this. I think the bottom line is the core problem of the issue is that you're not quite committing to the trick. You must lean over the bars, and if you are leant over and you've thrown them and you're fully committed to the trick, you catch the trick, your front foot won't fall off, because you're leant in and you're ready to catch the trick. Mainly, I think the problem with people whose feet fall off is the fact that they've hopped, they've done a decent hop, they've done a good bar spin, they've caught it, but you know, they're like leaning too far back, or they're throwing their bars further away from them. If you're leant over the bars and you've thrown them, you're pretty much committed to the trick, and it's all or nothing. Okay, problem number 2, and this is probably the last one I can think of. I've seen people where they throw their bars, they catch them, but they catch them sometimes on angles like left or right. Down. I think I've narrowed this down to being a problem of the actual throw itself from the beginning. I think it's down to when people, let's get straight here, when people throw the bars, they instead of letting go of the hand that you're meant to let go and then throwing with your dominant hand, so you let go and throw, what they do is they actually lead by like kind of doing both hands at the same time, and I think that motion kind of can tilt the bars off. So make sure when you're throwing your bar spin, you hop, you let go of this hand and just kind of do the throw mainly with one hand. You should be focused on your left hand is coming under, so letting go, coming under, and then throwing the bars that way. I see a lot of people be throwing them both like that, in that sort of sense, and I think that can set the bike off level. So try not to do that. Make sure you're throwing predominantly with one hand and catching with one hand, okay? Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this video helped. I hope you do learn how to bar spins. One thing I will leave on saying is don't give up on this trick. Some people think that they just can't bar spin and that they'll never get it and they're no good at it. I felt the same. Just keep at it. No matter what you do, don't give up. You will get the trick in the end, I promise, and it is a lot of fun. It's one of the coolest tricks to do, and you can do so many combinations of it. When you get really good, it's sort of like something to end with, something to start with. You can throw it in anywhere, in any mix, and it's just a really good trick. So I hope this video helps. Tell me if there's anything I missed in the comments. Like and enjoy, have fun, ride your bikes.